Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
Oh.
And clap.
And clap. Oh. Speaking of the clap, guess who didn't get the clap? I think, sorry, I'm having a tangent at the moment. Everyone thinks this is a public service announcement. Everyone thinks the clap is chlamydia, but it is gonorrhea.
Oh,
And,
I didn't know that.
And it's called that because they used to take the head of your penis and clap between it to get all the pus out. Anyways,
What?
welcome to Wigging Out, kids.
Oh my
Who would do
God.
this? The doctor?
I don't remember where I learned that from, but anyways, what a way to start the show. Hey kids, I'm Martyr,
I'm C-Temper.
and this is
Wigging Out.
We're starting 2022 with a bang.
We are?
Clap. Yeah, Caitlin, how have you been? How things?
I'm happy holiday season is over. I am just so
Yeah,
burnt
too.
out from retail doing holiday season.
Oh yeah,
I'm just
poor
so
thing.
happy it's over. And we didn't make it like usually holiday season, like people are like buying like crazy. Like this year was so different. It's probably because of COVID, but like I don't know.
I'm
Over it.
surprised you didn't get sick, but I mean, fingers crossed for you.
Well, I'm also boosted. I've been boosted since November.
Well, apparently people with the booster were getting it too, so I don't know. They're breakthrough.
But I'm definitely like at ground zero to get it, but like everyone
Yeah.
has to wear a mask inside, so I think that's what's saving me.
Yeah. I went to the gym yesterday, and I think out of the 200 people that were there, maybe 30 of them were wearing masks.
My gym says you have to wear masks, so
I wouldn't have gone if I had known so few people were going to wear
that's
masks.
not safe. But
Yeah, it was a little
I
scary.
use my pool at my gym, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Pools in New York.
Yeah, it's rare.
Child. Anyways, what are we doing? It's our first episode back. What are we
Yay.
doing? What
We're
are we
having-
doing today?
What?
What are we doing today?
Oh, okay. We're having our first. It's not really our first, but our second time with this guest. if that makes sense.
Yes, it is.
A returning guest.
A returning guest.
There we go.
Um,
So before I introduce them, I say listen to episode 20. Check that episode out because that's like kind of the part 1 of this episode.
mhm.
But now we're at the current. I think we're like 56 or something. I don't know what we're up.
I think we're close to 60, I think. Oh wow, that's so
I know.
long ago.
Yeah, I know. But so our returning guest is Robin Rose Quartz. Yay!
Hey y'all.
Oh my god, she's still Southern even though she lives here.
Yeah, a lot has
Back
changed
again.
since episode 20. That was a long time ago, by the way.
That was so long ago. I remember. I think Martyr was in your apartment.
That's right.
One of them.
One
we
of
were
them.
like holding microphones. It was
Yeah,
actually.
we don't
it was
do any
really
of that
fun.
anymore. But our sound
Yeah,
quality is surprisingly better now.
Yeah. I don't know how that worked out, but it did.
It did.
Thank you, Zoom, I think.
No, thank
Not
you.
sponsored by Zoom.
Not
But hey.
sponsored. We'll take it if they're.
Zoom, if you're listening,
Oh my god. They're
dial
not.
in.
They really aren't.
So we got a lot to talk about today. Let's just dive right in.
Let's do
Robin,
it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's catch up.
let's do the big news about Robin. You are nominated for
I'm pregnant.
Queen.
Oh, that's right.
You're pregnant with a nomination, baby.
Yes.
And speaking of nominations, y'all are also nominated for the second year in a row
I
for Best
know.
Podcast.
We don't like to brag here, but you know.
So you're listening to a double Glam nominated podcast episode
And the
of
funny
Wigging
part
Out
is,
with Robin Rose Quartz.
yeah, the funny part is that all our votes were public voting for
Oh my
our
God,
categories.
Yeah.
But it's closed now, so it's too late. But anyway,
Sorry, girls. I hope you voted for us, but
all of us.
all
Dude.
of us.
This is the official endorsement to vote
But-
if it wasn't already too late.
But it's too late. What's it like to have been nominated? That it's such a huge accomplishment, especially since you've only been here for a year.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
know.
it's only been a year.
I was really gagged, honestly. And I was at work. I was in my office and like I had my phone to the side and my phone was just like blowing up like more than usual. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, am I canceled? What's happening? And I look and everybody's like, oh my God, you're nominated for a Glam Award. Oh my God, congrats on the nom. And I was like, what? And I was so shook because like you said, I have only been here for a year. But I mean, in that year, I've honestly really been like hitting the pavement hard and going to shows and parties, performing, you name it. So I was really happy to get the news that I had been nominated along with some really other fierce queens that I'm really happy to share the nomination with. And January 30th, it's going to be in person. Got to make my dress still.
Supposedly in person. Let's see.
I don't know.
We'll see about that.
I'm very nervous about it. I
knocking
got
on
my
wood.
dress yesterday or the other day.
I still have to paint your purse, Caitlin.
Well, that's okay if you don't make it in time for that.
No, I'm definitely going to. But no, I'm super excited. And like win or lose, regardless, I'm just excited to go to like experience this for the first time. Because like we had our cute little viewing party last year for the
That
virtual.
is not what the Glam Awards is. The Glam Awards is fucking gigantic. It's
I'm
literally
excited.
all of like at least Manhattan nightlife in one room. It's fucking crazy.
I'm excited. It's gonna be a really killer night.
It's gonna be my first Glams too. So well, in person. So
I think
it's
my 6th Glams.
Oh.
OMG.
I missed a couple because I was on vacation because I usually go on vacation in January. But...
Do we get comp tickets again?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
I don't know if we can bring anyone.
Could you imagine?
But...
Congrats on the nomination. Pay for your ticket.
Listen.
Well, the tickets used to be like $10, so I would just buy them anyway.
I'm not saying I'm not going to shade any
other
deal. Award ceremony, but that is the case. Sometimes.
But no.
So, yeah.
I was also shocked to learn that like Cherry Jubilee, who I have not met, but like does this pretty much like on her own. I think with the exception of this year, a woman that I know, her name is Jackie Huba. I actually know her from Austin. And she has recently moved to New York and she manages Laguna Blue and Nova Zar, I believe, and a few others. And I bumped into her the other day and I think she's co-producing it with her. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, that's cool that she gets a little extra help and it'll add maybe a little flair to the event. We'll have to see. Yeah,
Thoughtasy did an interview with her and I was like, I don't know who you are, but work, bitch. She said she like planned it all from Austin. I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, shit. That's wild. Wait, how is someone from Austin involved in New York nightlife?
Well, you're listening to one speak
girl.
I mean,
now.
well, yeah, her, but you live here at least.
She has her own, I believe it's some sort of production company. And she also manages Queens as well. Okay. And yeah.
Huh. Well, I look forward to the 30th of where me and Caitlin will
be there.
Lose.
Oh yeah.
Shut up. Never say never.
We're just there to be nominated.
me and Caitlin are there to look cute and get some
photos together. Yeah, I just want photos.
Same.
Like honestly, that's all I want.
I just want to turn a fierce look, get some photos, and maybe get a little drunk.
What was it like to move into New York City in the middle of a pandemic?
It was absolutely insane. When we had spoken previously, I was contemplating the move because a few things were happening and I was deciding on whether or not this would be the right thing to do, etc. And around maybe March of 2019, I hit a wall with a bunch of different things with jobs and relationships and things like that. And I eventually decided that, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind and go to New York. Nothing's holding me back. I have really nothing here that's weighing me down. This is in Austin. And so I had reached out to a few friends of mine who I knew that worked in Fire Island. And they said that they could possibly get me a job at one of the restaurants there. And so I said, okay, I'm doing this. This is happening. I'm going through with it. No going back. And then of course, COVID starts getting like really extreme. And I say, you know what? I'm still just going to do it. Like I fully, was it foolhardy to kind of do that. Of course it was, but I mean, I'm still here, and it was a huge risk, and I think it absolutely paid off. So I moved to Fire Island, worked there for the summer, saved all of my money, and used that money to pay for like 6 months advance in rent at an apartment that living with two gentlemen that I had no idea who they were, but was introduced to by a mutual friend. They turned out to be some of the sweetest people ever. So super thankful for them that I didn't move in with like serial killers or something. That would have been crazy, or other drag queens. That would have been worse. And yeah, and I'm still here. It was a year on November 4th. Was it officially 1 year in New York? And
wow.
I started in Chelsea and then moved to Bushwick, and I'm still here in Bushwick.
The funny thing is, everyone was leaving New York, and you were coming into New York.
Absolutely.
You were
I
going
said,
against
you got
the
empty
tide.
apartments? I'm there, honey.
We love stealing apartments. I'm just being messy tonight. No, you've had such an incredible journey. I know we just like said like within a year you got Scene Queen nomination, and like we said, we shouldn't downplay that at all. That is a feat to be noticed in the community like so quickly. So like, congrats.
Thank you so much. I'm really honestly still so like, I don't know, like not glowing. That's not the word.
You
I
are
don't
glowing in the Zoom call though.
You are yeah, I was gonna say your skin looks
in my
great.
warm ambient
Your
light.
warm tone.
She's got
And
one of those sad lights.
And my hipster sunset lamp.
Not the sunset lamp, girl.
No, it's
What are
literally
you
just
doing?
like a lamp without a shade on.
Oh.
Because power.
So when you came to New York, you had to like kind of rely on doing drag full time because you couldn't really find a job. But you were able to like survive off of drag, which usually is like it takes a long time for queens to get to that level. You kind of just started at that level straight up. What was that like?
I don't know how, and I'm still kind of doing it. Luckily, I've kind of now landed on a cushy little part-time job to help supplement income. But when I had first got here, I was interviewing with a nonprofit that I won't mention because I would still hopefully like to work for them someday. But I was interviewing with them. I'd had my first interview in Austin and then moved in around November 4th. And so I went through all these interviews and I'd gotten to the final stages and they decided to go with a different candidate. So that was upsetting. I just kept having interviews on interviews and interviews, still no like real solid job. But I was in this place, at least I was like, okay, I have 6 months to find like a career job. And in between, I was like performing and doing gigs or doing competitions. And that was like my like spending and eating money. And so eventually I just kept going and kept like booking gigs and kept getting like passed up on all these like interviews, getting to final stages of interviews for like LGBTQIA plus nonprofits and like government positions and getting passed up. And so eventually drag just became a full-time thing, which I never wanted. I never wanted to be a full-time queen, just because I'd always told myself that I still want to enjoy the work that I do and not feel like, okay, I have to do this in order to like eat and survive and pay my rent, pay my bills. I want to do it on my terms, not because I have to do this to literally survive. And then eventually it turned into that, which was good and bad. I definitely had like a rough couple of months, just like sleep wise and drinking wise, but everybody has those months.
Okay, Miley.
I was gonna say, are you Hannah Montana?
Everybody has those days that turn into weeks, into months, into a year. But so yeah, it turned into a full-time thing. Now luckily I don't have to perform as much. I still want to perform as much as possible just because I love performing, but it's not something that is dependent on whether or not I'm going to, have groceries or be able to pay my rent, which is nice.
So we kind of all have done this at different phases of our lives, like everyone here. What advice would you have for people moving to a new city to pursue their dreams? What have you learned?
I would just say be as prepared as you can, and whatever that looks like for you, whether that's like making a list or having friends or connections. Luckily, I knew y'all, and of course, like Freya and Vicky. And so I knew that like if worse comes to worse and I have to like move back home, I could crash on somebody's couch for like a week while I tuck my tail between my legs and move back to Texas. And that's another thing too, is don't be afraid to fail. I went into this entire, I guess, journey, you could say, fully saying to myself, if I don't try, I will never know unless I try. And if I completely fall flat on my face, at least I tried. And I can always try again. I just kept pushing myself and to make it and to like land in a comfortable spot. So I would say be prepared, don't be afraid to fail, and find a good bodega.
That's a very New York answer.
Preferably ones with poppers.
Preferably
God.
one with cats.
Those usually go hand in hand.
Two completely different.
Just saying. Although I just learned this fairly recently. Sometimes bodegas will have whippets.
I feel like I knew.
Girl, what?
Exactly. Like what?
Is this 2006?
Like I don't know. My roommate used to do whippets, and I was just like, "Where did you get these?" And they're like, "Downstairs." And I'm like, "Excuse me." Anyways, beside the point. But the mark of a good bodega, cat poppers, preferably mozzarella sticks with like seasoned.
I was gonna say
mozzarella
like
stick.
good like food.
Mozzarella sticks, seasoned
Yeah.
mozzarella sticks. I'm a stickler about
Mm.
this. I can go on a rant about this, but anyways, we're talking about Robin today.
I appreciate one with like a very like diverse like drink section, like different energy drinks and like coffees.
Oh my god, I got into Loverboy. That is amazing.
Mm.
It's like alcoholic iced tea, but it tastes delicious.
I'm hooked on these Celsius energy drinks. The peach vibe is what keeps me going. 0 sugar, 0 calories.
Is it like
skinny.
Red Bull?
I think it's better for you than Red Bull.
Okay, because I would
Honestly,
try
this
it.
will probably be what kills me, but who knows?
Yeah, right.
Have you tried the Kin? Have you guys seen like those ads for Kin?
What's that?
It's like
Is it
non-alcoholic.
KIN?
KIN. It's like non-alcoholic drinks, but it's supposed to give you sort of like similar feelings of CBD, sort of like
Like a hemp or CBD infused
I don't know.
seltzer tonic.
I don't think it is CBD, but it's supposed to give you I've had it before. It's sort of just has some caffeine and like gives you a slight buzz like alcohol would, but like just gets you like motivated and a little loosey goosey. So
No,
try
those
it.
are the whippets
the whippets, the
that you do
poppers,
before
really.
you
The
before
poppers,
you
really.
drink your.
Yeah. But I'm currently sober at the moment, so a non-alcoholic.
Not by choice.
Congrats
choice.
to you. Oh,
Not by
not
choice. baby.
congrats to you.
I won't get into it, but
I think you did.
It's already into you, sis.
yeah, girl. Anyways, where were we? Another first that you had was doing Bushwig your first year here, which like bitch, kind of unheard of. Not really, but like it is an impressive feat to your skill level and your notoriety around town. What was it like being at Bushwig for the first time?
I honestly wish I had no idea the scale and the kind of grandiose thing
I warned you, baby.
that it was.
You can't.
I
You
was
would never know
so-
though until you went. You would never know.
Yeah.
As someone who likes to be prepared, I was grossly unprepared for it because everybody showed out, and I did like I put on a good outfit and I did like a good old Southern dancing number, but it was everybody just went full out with backup dancers, costumes, stunts, gags, and I'm watching everybody else and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do my number now. I was like, I don't think my number is good enough for the stage. So I severely underestimated it. However, next year, should I be so fortunate to do it next year, which I think I should,
I think you should, because you've worked with people from there.
Yeah.
It was I still had so much fun though. I was super, super dead that day because I had 2 shows the day before and a show that morning. And so like my face hurt, my body was hurting. And I was like, I'm just literally going to go in, do my number and probably go home and go to sleep because I had a brunch the next morning as well. So I was totally beat. But next year, I'm definitely going to like carve out time to like make a killer costume, maybe have some dancers, do some sort of like cool visual. But I still had so much fun. Shopping like the vendors and getting to like kiki with people. I got to like get a Polaroid with Amanda Lepore, talk with people backstage. I even got to see some people from Austin that came, the Poo Poo Platter troupe.
Yeah, they come every year. I love them.
I got to see Basura and Kanan and Cupcake and a few others. So it was really good to see them. But yeah, I severely underestimated how major the event was. And I did not hardly pose for any cameras or any press, which was a mistake.
Yeah, girl.
Everyone was there.
Yeah, girl.
Everyone. So next year I'm gonna come so hard. No, wait.
Get there really early.
I said what I said. I'm gonna come so hard.
Ooh.
What time did you end up performing?
Oh my God. I think it was at I had a really good time slot.
You did.
I know you did, which was crazy. It was your first year. You got such a good time slot.
I had a couple people message me like, hey, do you want to like trade time slots? I'm like, no, I don't.
Why would you do that?
And I was like, I really don't have a choice because I have a gig that morning too. And I was like, even if I didn't, I still wouldn't trade. Sorry about it.
Yeah.
But I think I performed at like 7, which ended up turning into like 8 o'clock or so.
Yeah, it's always like 2 hours behind.
And I knew like all the people in my set too. So we were all just like hanging out by the side stage. It was so much fun. I was so exhausted, but I still had a great time.
My favorite event of the year. It's so good.
I'm sad I missed. I had to work all weekend because my job was also there. So I had to man the fort back in Chelsea.
Sure was. I bought some earrings.
But like next year I'm going to try to make it, even if I have to work.
If the glams are the Met Gala of NYC Nightlife, Bushwig is like, God, the Electric Daisy Carnival. I don't even know.
For the amount of people that were on drugs, yes.
Oh my God.
They're like the Coachella.
Coachella, yes.
Yeah, I would say that. I think that's accurate.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, I enjoyed our little kiki. We did a little photo shoot with my outfit day 2. I don't know if
those photos turned out so good.
They did. I love them. I don't know where I posted. I did use them and people were a fan. But that was a cunt day. That was a cunt weekend. I love Bushwig.
And I had only gone for the one day that I was like booked at too. So it's literally next year I'm taking off that entire weekend.
You have to. That's how you do it right.
And I was very lucky to like, only do like one number and like still get paid. I'm like, that's really unheard of.
Also the first time ever this year.
But like having done, so in Austin, we do an Austin drag festival.
Yeah.
And that is.
Which is coming back this year, I believe.
I saw, I might apply and see if I can even have the funds to like fly down
there.
Well,
we have some connections with WERRRK.com, so.
Oh, maybe we could run a booth.
Maybe. Do they do booths there? I've always wanted to go.
Oh yeah. It's not near the scale that
I know it's a lot
Bushwig is, obviously, but I mean, for what it is, and for like the small team that runs it, which are all volunteers, it's still like a really cool, very lovely event.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait. Maybe I'll go this year if it's happening. So switching from Bushwig, you did your own show / fundraiser this year for Thanksgiving at Happy Fun Hideaway. Why was it important for you to like raise funds and give back to the community? Tell us about it. Yes,
that was so fun. I did what I called a Themsgiving. a community potluck event, and I was chatting with Icarus, amazing DJ and also bartender for Happy Fun Hideaway. Love you, Icarus, about hosting an event at Happy Fun. And so I was just like tossing around the idea of a sort of like community potluck, or just bringing people together around the Thanksgiving holiday for those that like don't get to go home either because of COVID or because of like a strain on family relations and things like that. So I had never, of course, everybody wants to do their own parties and their own events in New York. I know that's still going to like take time. So I'm in like no rush to like, you know, have like the Rose Quartz like art pop, color pop ball thing. I know that's going to take a little more time, but I wanted to throw this event because I love including charitable components in events. It's part of my previous work that I did in Austin, and it's part of stuff that I want to do here in New York as well. So we threw this little event, me and my bestie Ginger Von Snap. We both, so we basically, I did like a community poll asking if this was like a good idea. I got a lot of positive feedback. We put out another kind of PSA asking, if you were to do this, would you bring a dish? So eventually we had booked out the event and we said, okay, it's happening on this date. If you want to bring a hot meal to share with people, you can do so. DM me or Ginger to sign up to bring a dish or to bring, you know, like canned goods. We also did like a small canned food drive as well. We asked for just like a $5 donation at the door, which we donated to the WERRRK Project, which is a nonprofit that provides food for people experiencing food and resources for people experiencing food insecurity, with a focus on serving trans people of color. So we did a little fundraiser for them. We ended up raising $125, I think, which isn't like, you know,
that's a lot
exuberant
because
amount of money.
I was there. Like, that's a lot of money.
But yeah, for like what it was, and
Yeah.
for like the bar itself is a little on the smallish side, but like we had a, you know, a pretty nice crowd of people, and we fed a lot of people. All the food that like everybody brought was like gone. What food that was left over, I ended up packaging up and like giving to some folks that were like outside on the street. So like nothing went to waste. We did a couple of numbers and we did shows. It was lovely. It was so much fun. And it was just kind of, it was very like, it wasn't like a rager, you know, like a Friday night or a Saturday night. It was just a very like low key kind of get together, kiki. And it was so much fun. I want to do so many more things like that. And that will only happen with time. So I just have to, I'm a very patient person when it comes to other people, but when it comes to me and the things that I want for myself, I'm very impatient. But it was a super fun event. I'm so happy to do it. We also had Horchata, legendary Brooklyn mother, as our DJ.
I was so surprised.
Well, we were talking originally, and I was talking with Ginger about it, and Horchata was just around us, and she was like, "Oh, like I would like love to be a part of this." And Icarus had eventually reached out, and turns out they were already supposed to DJ that night.
Oh, cute.
For something else. So we were just like, "Oh, you're already going to be here. Would you like DJ our little Kiki, our little Thanksgiving?" And they were like, "Absolutely."
Aww.
So it was really cool having Chata there. Yeah, can't believe it happened.
And that little bar is so cute. Like,
I love
Fun.
Happy Fun.
It's
I
like
love
in
that.
the middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
but it's cute as hell.
it is in the middle of nowhere. It's like
It's literally 3 blocks away from my house.
OT. It's like walking distance for me. It's not too far. Yeah, it's like one of those, the last like queer bars over in that area. There's Mood Ring, and I think Wonderville, which used to be,
I still have never been there.
that used to be Secret Project Robot, which is where they had Mix BK back in the day. And now the original Secret Project Robot is a Trader Joe's, I believe.
Ooh.
And that's on gentrification, sis.
Yeah.
Oh, Kerr.
I'm all about that Trader Joe's life.
No.
Yes.
Buy local. God damn it.
Trader Joe's cheaper than local for me.
there's a reason for that. I'm not gonna get into gentrification. I already went on too many tangents today.
I was gonna say, get on another soapbox, girl. You're 1 for 2 right now.
Yeah. We're gonna do gentrification the episode and like.
Are we? I don't think
Yes.
we are. I don't think we are.
I'm gonna do a book report about gentrification.
Okay, that you can do.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So that was such a cute like thing that you did. Another awesome thing you did was that you collaborated with Michael Kors for Pride.
Yes, so my first Pride in New York City, which was super busy. I think I had maybe 21 gigs throughout the city.
What?
It was, I'll have to go back through I remember it was like 20 something, but yeah, because I was doing drag full time. So I had all the time in the world. So I was literally just picking up like whatever I could, really. And a friend of mine that does PR for lifestyle brands reached out to me and told me that the Michael Kors near Rockefeller Center was having this unique pop-up little activation for Pride in conjunction with Big Gay Ice Cream. And Amanda Lepore was supposed to be there, like serving ice cream out of this Big Gay ice cream truck. I got there a little late, so I think like she was already done with that. I ended up seeing her afterwards, which was super cool. But I met up over there, chatted with a bunch of the employees and some of the reps that were there. Some people that were from like the higher up sphere were also at that store. And I'd like just heard about this event like through the grapevine. Like I wasn't hired or paid to be there. I just kind of showed up in drag. And they were like, oh my God, like you look so amazing, blah, blah, blah. And so I was just talking with all these people and they were like taking pictures of me, like holding bags and in front of the ice cream truck. And I was like, are you sure this is okay? Like, I'm not paid to be here. I literally just showed up. It was just
They should have paid you in handbags.
But that's the thing. So they took me to the stock room and they were like, here, just like pick out like just like take this like hoodie, take this backpack. Do you want these earrings? I got so much Michael Kors like earrings, jewelry. I got 2 Pride like sweaters with this beautiful like chenille patch, this backpack. I got like a huge shopping bag full of stuff. And I'm like, are you sure? They're like, no, you look fabulous. Like you deserve this, blah, blah, blah. And so I was screaming inside. And
that's
like
way better
to,
than
like,
getting paid though. You're making that's worth way more than like whatever they would have paid you.
Absolutely. And like meeting those people and networking with them and making connections, getting to like meet Amanda Lepore. That's also where I first met Nikki Otov, who y'all recently had on the pod, who I love and adore. And I had met them for the first time. Just so sweet and just so amazing. So many other really cool like queer creatives were there too. There was literally probably about maybe like 6 or so drag queens. We were all outside of like the Michael Kors store holding bags like full of stuff and like taking videos. It was insane. So it was a really like sort of like an unintentional, I don't know if I would call it a collaboration, but I mean, they posted me on their feed, so that was really cool.
Get them clicks, girl.
That sounds so nice. That's like a dream.
That was like a really like defining New York moment for me, just like showing up to this thing and it turning into this kind of like big, huge deal. I was like, oh yeah, it's like small moments like that I call like defining New York moments that make me like reflect and say like, oh yeah, this was the right decision to come here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of Nikki Otov, you've done a couple of $3 bill events with Queer Art Fest and Nikki for their Britney/birthday fundraiser. What's that whole experience been like working at $3 bill?
I love $3 bill. The very first time I got to perform there, I did a Trish show with our friend Reefy Royalty, and performing on that huge stage, like y'all have seen me perform and you've seen me move, you know, I move and I dance. And so I literally, when I got out there for the first time, I touched every inch of that stage, just running around back and forth, upside down and backwards in high heels. It was so much fun. So literally any opportunity that I could get to work at $3 Bill and perform on that stage, I took, and I wanted to keep performing there and keep working there. Doing Queer Art Fest was so much fun, just getting to interact with different vendors and like queer makers and crafters, networking with them, shopping was so much fun. Getting to meet the team for Queer Art Fest, they're so incredible, and hopefully you get to work with more of them in the future. And then of course performing with like our friend Vicky DeVille, Vinny Gaga, Magenta. It was such a fun day. And then the Britney event with Nikki Otov was so major. It was so packed in that place.
It was.
I can't even I can't even remember how much money we raised. It was well over $1,000.
It was a lot of money.
Glitz and Fun Texas Choice, which I really admire also about Nikki, because they always like to include charitable components in their stuff that they do. And even the Read My Lips competition that we also did at $3 Bill had some sort of charitable component in it as well.
What Read My Lips did you do?
I did the Dua Lipa edition.
Right.
And I lost in the first round, which is fine. But I had I did a really funny kind of campy thing to One Kiss, and I had like glued a huge lip pillow to my butt, and I did the little shimmy dance that she does. She did at the one concert. I did that for like the first minute and 15 seconds.
Oh my
people
God.
just went crazy.
That's amazing. I'm mad I missed that.
But no, such a fun bar, and so many amazing events that go on there. I can't wait to keep working with them and keep performing there, and keep running into working with Nikki too.
Oh yeah, we love Nikki. Who is also, I'm just gonna promote it even though it's not my event. Nikki's hosting Drag Race viewing parties this whole January, February. So if you go to $3 Bill, it is free. Go check it out.
Oh my God.
Honey, Drag Race viewing parties is when some of the girls get work, because any little bar that's got a TV and they know a drag queen, you can host your own viewing party.
That's
right. Drag Race has its own local ecosystem, and it's wild to observe and be a part of. But anyways,
you're a part of it.
I am a part of it, which is really weird, because for someone who does not like or watch the show anymore.
I'm excited for season 14. That's what we're up to.
14th season this year, huh?
Yep. They released the first 10 minutes. It's been good.
I saw
that too.
We're recording this today before, but
well, it'll be out by the time this episode comes out.
But so we don't know anything, kids. I think we should take a little break, because we've been catching up with Robin, but I think we should be a little devilish and play some games, Caitlin.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Oh,
we're just gonna be nasty, filthy, spilling some tea. No, I'm just kidding.
Like some other podcasts we do.
We'll be Martyr woke up today and chose violence.
I really did. It's it's the bubblies are made 2022. I'm coming for blood this year.
It's the brand.
It's the brand, baby. We'll be right back, kids.
Bye. Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
Like inevitable, I guess. I don't know. I quote that a lot. Vanessa Hudgens being like,
"Oh yeah," like
but like inevitable.
She wasn't wrong though. They gave her a lot of shit, and she wasn't wrong.
My favorite thing is like that's literally the response that like the government has been given. Like
currently,
they're just like. Anyways, welcome back.
Oh God, that was our back.
Why not? Fuck it.
Christ.
We love a chaotic intro. It leaves the audience wondering, what the hell did they just talk about? And you'll never guess where that came from.
It's true.
Caitlin, we did this with one of our other returning guests,
Yes,
Vicky
Vicky DeVille.
We're playing games today, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, we don't usually get to play games. We don't get to have
Yeah.
fun on this podcast.
No,
You got games? You got games?
You got games in your phone?
So we're gonna do a couple different games, but we're starting this one now, and we'll do the next one after the break. So
This is
I'm
to
scared.
Get to know Robin a little
Robin.
more, and then me and Caitlin just shooting the shit, kind of.
Yeah.
But mostly Robin.
You both know me fairly well, so I'm
well,
honestly a
so
little
we're
worried.
gonna learn a little bit more about you because I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So the game we played with Vicky and Dot is called This or That. So we give you two topics, and you gotta choose which one you like better.
Ooh,
And this way, we learn a little bit more about
don't make me choose between my two children.
it. Okay. Our first one is Linda Simpson or Lady Bunny.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Hey, girl. That was terrible, Lady Bunny.
girl, so they know it's over. Oh my gosh, that is really hard. I would have to say probably Linda Simpson, because the three of us got to meet them at Linda's talk at the Fotografska Museum, where Lady Bunny was also the DJ. So we got to hear from Linda Simpson and Lady Bunny talking about Linda's book, Drag Explosion, and about the scene back in the golden years of drag and New York City nightlife, which was such a fun event, so exciting. And getting to like just even talk to Linda Simpson about where drag has been and where it's going, and what the future looks like in terms of photographing the scene and being a part of the huge mecca that is New York City nightlife, was just so cool. And then of course, like, Lady Bunny was there, like, cracking her jokes and girl, any kind of opportunity to take a jab at anything, she took it, which was, I thought
She's
she was
ruthless.
I thought
She
she
really
was
was.
hilarious.
I
I was
love
talking to
Lady
somebody after, and they were like, "God, Bunny was so annoying," and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I can't be cracking
No,
up."
Bunny is so freaking funny.
I
That's
was
just
like,
Bunny.
"Why are you?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Why are you here? If you're not having fun, go home."
And also, like, Bunny is like the one, like, the driving force in like the 80s and 90s of drag, really.
Yeah, and just like getting to hear her voice in person and getting to like chat with her and Linda, it was so cool. And Linda, they both signed. I purchased a book, and then they both signed it, and they both like wrote that I was a whore in the book, and I'm gonna treasure it forever. And I got to take pictures of them too.
Well, they got the one thing right at least, but
They were right.
whore.
Who do I make this out to? Robin Rose Quartz.
Your Lady Bunny.
You are a filthy whore. I walked in, I was in drag, and so I'd done like some very like artsy drag, and I walked in, and I'd never met either of them before in my life, and Lady Bunny runs up to me, she goes, why would you dress this way? Why would you come here like this?
Oh my god.
I don't understand why you would come like this.
Me and Caitlin got to share the elevator with Lady Bunny,
Yeah.
and we were awkward about it, but she was a hoot in there too.
Why did you ask her to be on the podcast?
She would say no.
Well, I asked her
She didn't say no to a gig, girl.
We don't
Girl.
I asked her to be in my book, but she said no because she was writing her own book. So
Did she ever do that? Did she ever
I
write?
don't think so.
Sure, I'll be in your podcast, fag.
Fag.
And I can't wait to lose to Lady Bunny at the
Yeah,
Glam Awards.
Me and Caitlin are definitely
Oh
gonna
my
lose
God.
to Lady Bunny.
half of the crew, NYC crew of Ebony and Irony.
Oh my god.
That was a fun night. It was good to see both of them. Robin, I do want to recreate the Pride Parade photo that they had. What did it
Whores
say?
only.
Whores. We need to do that like
only.
pronto. Caitlin, what is your preference? I know you love them both.
Oh, for me?
Mhm.
It's hard. That's hard. I feel like they both contributed so much. For me, I think it would be Lady Bunny because as a producer, I really, really respect what she has like she was the original Bushwig before there was Bushwig. You know what I mean? She
With
like really like
Wigstock.
And it's not, Wigstock was such a huge impact, and it also was like recorded, and like we can go back to that time thanks to Lady Bunny and like see what drag was like because of her.
I still need to watch the documentary, not the HBO one.
No, not that, please. But the original, like, it's just her contribution to like New York City nightlife is like Linda Simpson is great because she was documenting everything, so she also like contributed in a totally separate way. But Lady Bunny like kind of helped create, and like archive the great, like including like just everybody. So,
I have to say Linda because of that one time where I snubbed not knowing her. So.
Oh my god! Don't that gives me PTSD.
It was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing.
It was so bad.
Spill. Okay, you don't pick to not be messy.
I'm pretty sure I talked about it on the podcast before,
I think we've talked about it too.
Yeah, it just it was at Bushwig 2019. Caitlin brought over Linda and was like, "I want her. We want Linda on the pod," and like I couldn't hear Caitlin. I didn't know Linda was right there. I was very, I don't know. You were
probably a little drunk too.
Probably. When am I not? And I was just like, who? Just very loudly.
Never forget.
Honestly, that's fair. I would
still like to get her on the podcast. I think Linda would have.
Linda, you're not listening, but I would love to have you on the podcast. So.
Oh my god. She wrote in your book who, and that was it.
She should have.
Will you sign this book to who?
Our next this or that, Shania Twain or Casey Musgraves.
Oh, y'all, these are some good.
The thing is, I know you very well, so this is
y'all
gonna be
fun. I will have to say Casey Musgraves, because I've seen her live 4 times, and once in Austin, once in New York at the Governor's Ball, once in Marfa, and then it's only 3 times, but I'm going to see her 4 times when she comes to New York in February, so it will be 4 times. And I even have a tattoo of her fan from the Golden Hour album after I saw her in Austin. And just the way that she sort of, I guess, transcended the country music genre. She's also a huge advocate for our community. She's a Stonewall ambassador and has, donated funds to different charities and organizations. And she loves the gays, and the gays love her, and she knows it. And she knows what she's doing. And just her voice is just so soothing, and I just love her aesthetic and her style, how she's classic but at the same time so modern. I could just literally just go on and on and on. Sorry, Shania.
Are we answering? I have an answer.
I'm still butthurt that I was 5 minutes away from meeting Casey, and then she left to go make out with her boyfriend. So I'm a little heartbroken about that.
You failed me.
I mean, I was upset. So it happens, though. Shania did Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and that shit clicks. So I'm gonna go with Shania because Casey let me down.
Oh my god.
So I love both of them a lot, but Shania now is all like problematic and canceled forever. But Shania was like the soundtrack to my like childhood in the 90s. So for that, Shania is gonna win out.
Yeah,
her
Shania,
hits were just so iconic.
Shania, Sarah Evans, of course, Dolly, Kelly Pickler. I could just go on and on.
So the next one,
y'all are like, who?
So the next one is Dolly Parton or Reba McEntire.
Oh, what? When did this turn into the CMAs, making me choose between my girls? Man,
Oops.
Because I knew it'd be hard.
this
I know
is
you.
really hard.
I know you love country, so she a country girl.
She's still a country gal. I will have to say, only because Dolly is so much more popularized and mainstream, I will say Reba, because obviously I grew up watching the show, and I've also won a competition impersonating her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was a fun. I made a little red dress. Didn't even draw
do you
on a
have
top
photos?
lip. Oh, I do, and they're hideous.
Oh, I gotta see it.
Oh, it was one of my like first times in drag, but I won a competition, and that was like our challenge, was to do a celebrity impersonation. We also had to make over a wig, so we were given a wig and a character. So I got this really beat up red wig, and they're like, "You're gonna do Reba McEntire." I'm like, "Great!" So I do everything, and I put everything together. And then literally an hour before I go on, I'm like, "Oh, I haven't done anything to this wig." And they're going to read me for it. So I literally bunched it up and cut the shit out. It looked like I had a very dried out red mop on my head. But they said that it worked even all the way down to the hair. And then I won that night and ended up winning the whole thing. So yes, I'm going to go with Reba McEntire, even though Dolly is forever.
I'm just saying one of them made a vaccine.
Yeah,
so.
I figured that too.
And one of them made a hit television series on the CW.
That's true.
That one was also in a Land Before Time movie. So, you know,
Oh,
I love Dolly. The more and more I learn about Dolly, I love her more. So
right.
I'm a Dolly girl. 9 to 5, bitch.
She's another stan of the gays. Like she knows what she's doing.
Oh yeah, Dolly Parton is a drag queen. First of all,
Fully.
Fully.
for me, I love them both equally for different reasons. Reba was in The Little Rascals. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie too.
But I love Reba. I loved watching Reba on TV. But you know, Dolly Parton's just such an icon. How can you say
Really?
that?
Okay.
She's unbeatable.
Yeah. She's like the greatest American treasure, especially now that Betty White passed. So
Oh,
it's kind of like all we got.
It's like Dolly and Cher.
Yeah, Dolly and Cher. That's it.
I was thinking about that. I was like, it's gonna be like once the news like broke that she had died, I was like, it's gonna be a sad, like the world is not gonna be the same when these people die.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, on to a slightly happier
Yeah,
topic.
less.
Texas barbecue. Or
Yes.
Tex-Mex.
Oh, fuck. Texas barbecue, because obviously Tex-Mex slaps and you can literally get it anywhere, but you have to be really picky and choosy about where you get good barbecue from, like good brisket, good sausage. One of my favorite places of all time, and I will put this in any kind, if I ever like write a book or do anything or whatever, there's a place in Llano, Texas called Inman's Kitchen. They make their own bread, and they also make turkey sausage, and it is so good. They also have, I mean, obviously anything they do is good. The brisket, like baked beans, oh, it's to die for. But you have to be really choosy, because some places like to pose like, oh, they're the best barbecue thing and whatever and here and there, but no, you have to really shop around to find the good ones.
You're saying Dallas barbecue isn't good?
Girl,
I have a story.
so
I was
I was
That's
like,
a
Dallas
joke.
barbecue, walked in thinking it was like a one establishment. No, bitch, it's a chain.
it's
Yeah,
a
girl.
chain, baby.
It's a
I was
chain.
fooled.
So I'm
Painful.
also from the South, not from like the deep South. Well, I guess deep South, whatever.
You're in like a
Um,
different part of the South.
Yeah. So I visited New York for the first time with my choir. in high school, and for
Sorry.
I know I'm a faggot. And for our authentic New York food, we went to a Dallas barbecue.
Yeah, so
Make it make
authentic.
sense.
What's not clicking? Anyways, I have never had good barbecue in the city, so I miss it dearly. Every day. So
Though Dallas barbecue has the best drinks. You will get wasted off of them.
I believe Margaritaville does, and that's why
Oh.
we're having our joint birthday party there.
Oh God. And I
We're all
thought I was
invited.
white trash, and y'all want to go to Margaritaville?
I am so pumped. And I looked at the menu. I don't think I can eat anything on the menu, but that's okay.
We're
You're
not
gonna get a
going for
side
the
salad.
food.
I'm not going for the food.
We're not going for the food.
What are we going for exactly?
The alcohol, baby.
I'm going, honestly, I'm going
The
for the pool
atmosphere.
because I really want to see that pool.
See, oh, that's just.
Caitlin's
I'm
gonna
so
get
ex-
chlamydia in the pool.
It sounds
I
like
mean,
it
it's the
reminds me
same
of
as
the
LaBaine.
pool at LaBaine, exactly.
Yeah.
The
Oh
hot
my
tub,
God.
the
Oh
Oh
cesspool.
my god.
Let's answer for us.
I did answer.
Oh, okay.
Barbecue. Yeah.
For me, it would be Tex-Mex because I can't eat any barbecue pretty much. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
What Tex-Mex can you eat?
Anything.
Veggie taco.
Like
Oh, okay.
anything.
Yeah. See, when I
I'm
hear
not
Tex,
vegan. I'm not vegan, so
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
eat cheese.
when I hear Tex-Mex, I think of like Chili's or like
Uh,
Taco Bell. So those are the
there
options
used
in my
to be
head.
how very
chain that
dare you?
there used to be a chain that had like the best Tex-Mex. I can't remember. They don't like. I don't think they exist anymore, but they were everywhere. I can't remember what it was.
It was
I will
Chili's.
say though, I
No,
was
it
really
wasn't.
happy that we found our own little kind of like hole in the wall taco place near Tracy's. That really like lifted my soul and lifted my spirit.
Thanks,
Good
Tracy.
shit.
She found that one.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
she
a good-
just lived above it.
Good East Village joint. Love it there.
Okay, so that brings us to our next one: burritos or tacos.
Burritos.
Yeah. Same.
Same.
And I can't even justify that other than the fact
I
that
mean, you either like it or you don't like it.
When I think of so like burrito, I know how much I'm gonna get.
That's
But with
so
tacos,
true. You never
like-
know.
I either over order or under order. It's like
it's
a
never
guessing game.
correct.
Yeah.
It's never right.
I
I
also
think-
over order anytime we go to that place. I
Yeah,
get
you
like
do.
tacos, I get tostadas, I get like
I thought that.
chips, candy, drinks. We get it all.
Yes.
I love that place.
We gotta go
Me too.
back. You guys are getting me hungry.
We really do. Oh my god. Okay, next one. This is a weird one. Hot sauce or guacamole?
I'm gonna sound real southern, but it's gonna depend on who's making it
Ooh.
and how it's made.
Too.
But dang, I'll say guacamole,
Interesting.
because some good red onion and cilantro.
Oh yeah. See, I feel like a lot of guac has tomatoes in it, and I'm a big anti-tomato girl.
They
So I
should-
gotta go hot sauce.
Anti-tomato girl.
Yeah. Material girl.
Oh, God.
Anti-tomato girl.
I gotta go with guac. I don't like most hot sauce. I'm very picky about hot sauce because I don't like things that are way too spicy. So I just got some Frank's buffalo sauce today. That was really good. But Frank's Hot, I think it's called. But I'm a guacamole girl. All the
I
way.
used to be like anti-spice anything. Like I hated any kind of spiciness, but now I'm like, give me more. I love me
Y'all so
some.
white,
I know I'm so white.
Caucasian.
Yeah, I know.
I so pale. I so pale.
So do you like acrylic or oil paints better?
Ooh. I will go with acrylic because oil does take a little longer to dry. And again, I'm very impatient with myself. So I usually like to try and if I am painting or I'm doing a series, I like to do a lot all at once. And some of the methods that I use require different layers or different sections to dry quickly. So acrylic.
Because
So
you're
what-
cheap.
Oh, that too.
Well, when I went to because I took art pretty much my whole life, and they would never let us use oil paints. So I have still to this day never used oil paints. But I know they also take forever to dry and like all this other stuff. So I by default go with acrylic, but I like how oil paints look better,
Right.
like in the finished product. But using it, I only know how to use acrylic. So
I mean, like if I'm looking out my bay window painting the landscape, wondering when my husband will return from war, and it's going to take a year for me to paint one thing, then sure, I'll use oil. But for my style and for me, I'm an acrylic girl.
I like layers. So either there's this, I know. There's this word, there's this term in art. I forget it off the top of my head. But it's when you can see the layers of paint basically, and it's like cracking, and I'm obsessed with it. And I'm pretty sure it happens more often with oil paints.
oh, definitely.
So I'm gonna say oil.
Underpainting?
No. I forget. I want to say like maybe it starts with a P. I don't remember off the top of my head. Girl, I've been out of college for like 6 years at this point.
Me too.
Oh my god. It's her 21st birthday coming up.
21.
Yeah.
All over again.
Let me look at the next one. Sorry.
You've got me thinking about what that word is.
I know
Is
what
it
you're
like
talking about.
cracked something? Crackallure? I don't know. I've also never like studied art professionally, so
I just don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to go find my notes.
My sister would know.
Yeah. Okay. Our next one. 2 dead white gays. Michelangelo or Da Vinci.
Which Ninja Turtle were they? Is that the
Raphael?
He gay too.
Yes, they all were good.
They were all gay.
Da Vinci?
Da Vinci?
I don't know. I'm not really like an enormous fan of either, just because I'm really more into
I agree.
like pop and modern. But I will say Michelangelo.
I'd have to agree just for the Sistine Chapel alone. But
yeah, for me this is so hard because Renaissance is probably my favorite like art period, and I've seen a lot of their work because I studied abroad in Italy, so I've been to the Sistine Chapel and all that.
Ugh.
So I honestly don't know. I feel like Michelangelo contributed more to art, and Da Vinci was a literal Renaissance man, so like did a lot with science and stuff. So I love both their work. I think it's hard. I don't know.
Michelangelo also did the Pieta, which is like my shit. So, I'm trying to think. There's one of them that doesn't know how to the anatomy of women.
That's Michelangelo.
It was Michelangelo.
Yep.
I'm obsessed with that statue.
God.
I feel like I would go with Michelangelo for a sculpture, and then Da Vinci for I do love, even though Da Vinci didn't do that many paintings, I do love Da Vinci's paintings.
Did he do the Jesus painting that came out?
The Last Supper?
No.
Oh, two.
It sold a couple years ago at Christie's. And it was a big deal because they're like, is it real? Is it a real Da Vinci? Might have been
Da Vinci.
A lot of Da Vinci's art didn't survive because Da Vinci was really experimental with the materials that they used. So a lot of it just kind of disappeared over time.
Because I think it was supposed to be like the male Mona Lisa, basically.
Oh, then it must have been Da Vinci. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyways, on to the next one.
Next one. Pop art or Art Deco?
Pop art. Only because growing up, I was really obsessed with Art Deco and like the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. And I don't know, my taste level has just kind of evolved, I think. And I think myself as a person and also as a drag queen myself as a drag queen and Robin outside of drag is also very like colorful and vibrant. And yeah, that's where I am right now. So yeah, pop art.
But now you're in New York. There's so much Art Deco here.
I know, right? I do adore like the different like architecture, and even some buildings that I walk by that are obviously like from the 10s and 20s. I look at them, I'm like, oh God, I'd love to do a photo shoot in there.
Yeah, I live by the Chrysler, so I love Art Deco.
Ugh, so pretty.
I think I got interested in New York because of Art Deco. And you think with like my personality and my aesthetics, I would be more Art Deco, but I love me some pop art. I mean, I got 2 Keith Haring tattoos. I gotta love my pop art shit.
I would go with pop art as well, though, for me personally.
Yeah. Well, I think pop art's more relevant now, not even because of like its celebrity, but just sort of like its comments on like capitalism. Where Art Deco like kind of came out of fascist-y undertones.
True.
So you know, pop art's more relevant. On to the next one. Robin. I feel like the last time I saw you in a look, you had both of these colors, but
This is her colors.
yellow or pink?
I hate you both. Probably yellow. And I don't even know why or when I suddenly gravitated towards this color, because I used to wear, I think shortly after I came out, I wore a lot of pink just because to me that was like, oh, I was still like young and naive, and I was like associating like, like the whole pink and blue, like boy and girl, femininity, masculinity thing. So I was just wearing a lot of pink just to kind of like express myself in that way. This was also around the Lady Gaga Joanne era. So I was wearing a lot of like dusty rose, like blush pink.
I love that color.
But my gay ass called it Joanne pink.
Oh my God.
So I had like tons of like sweaters and shirts and socks in that color pink. And I don't know when I just switched one day or just gradually over time. I think I really gravitated yellow just because it's just such like a happy color for me. And like, I'm not always the most like chipper person, but even just like looking at it, it just like kind of like makes you smile and just makes you think. And even in drag, it's definitely like probably my signature drag color too. I don't know why. And
Yellow.
I just look really good in yellow, and like not a lot of people can pull off yellow.
Nope.
I can't pull off green very well, but I can pull off like yellow and purple, pink, like especially like mixing those together for looks and stuff is a lot of fun. So definitely yellow.
I feel like yellow is just like, for me personally, I think it's just like a really harsh, bright color. So I'm just like, I'm more of a neutral tone kind of girl.
You're more of a red girl.
Yeah.
Red.
I will have to say pink, but the Joanne pink that you're referencing, I believe is called millennial pink.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
that's
millennial pink.
right.
Yeah.
The Pantone color of the year for whatever the fuck.
And I do like that color, so there's something to say about it. So
This one's easy. Pink's my favorite color. The end.
Gay.
Damn.
I know.
Gay.
Also, I look terrible in yellow. I think I'm pale, but like in a different one.
Well, I can't wait to see you both wear pink to my birthday soiree.
Do I even own any? Yeah, I do. Okay. Our last question.
No, okay.
Chelsea or Bushwick?
Oh, oh, damn.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Okay, I have a sub question. Is this for like drag, or is this just like living in general?
Interpret it as you want.
Yeah, however you want.
Christ. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm gonna be judged so hard no matter what I say. This is a trap. I will say, I can't even say. God, this is hard. I'm gonna say Bushwick. because I do love this area. It's a little more noisy than Chelsea, but like I'm so used to that already by now. And while I was in Chelsea, everything was like so close by and just within walking distance, like anything. But here, things are a little bit more far away, but I do get a little more, I guess, like peace of mind here. And there's so many more murals and graffiti. The drag scene here in Brooklyn and in Bushwick in general is where I really align with being really, you know, like artistic and kind of avant-garde. Dang, that's so hard. Yeah, I'll have to say Bushwick. Ugh.
Obviously I'm a Brooklyn girl, so I'm gonna say Bushwick. Although technically I never lived there, so I'm East Williamsburg.
That's true. You are. For me, because I work in Chelsea, I am so freaking sick of Chelsea. Like Bushwick is definitely like
Chelsea kind of sucks, not gonna lie.
Oh my God.
Bushwick is definitely like a breath of fresh air to me. But with that said, I try to avoid going there because it's so far away from my apartment that I just hate going there. But like when I'm there, I'm happy. But just like getting there and coming back is just like get me away from here.
I feel like
oh my God,
like Chelsea is like a neighborhood, if that makes sense. Like like tourists go to Chelsea and like Soho.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like I used to work in Chelsea too, and I wasn't a big fan of it then either.
it was pretty crowded. Even like during COVID, it was still like a lot.
My last two jobs ever since I moved back to New York were in Chelsea. So I've been there for a really long time now, and I'm just over it. Yeah. With that said, thank you, tourists, for coming back because I would have no job without
tea.
I wouldn't make any money.
Well, that was a fun way to get to know Robin. I think we're gonna have one more game.
Yeah.
But before that, we're gonna take a little break. And we'll be right back, kids. Bye.
Bye-sies.
Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go flying.
And we're back. Ooh, what a long break.
Sure.
I'm lying, which goes into our next segment. Caitlin suggested this game, and I think it's fun. So we're gonna do it. It's 2 truths and a lie.
This is a big podcast game because I used to
What
listen
podcast are you listening to?
Well, so I used to listen to a lot of podcasts. Now I don't really listen to any anymore ever since I started my own. But like all the Harry Potter ones, I don't know. They would always do this game. So let's do it. And obviously the rules are there's a lie.
Yeah, there's one.
And we got to figure it out.
We
played this so many times and just told nothing but like truths. And then I'm like, wait, they were all true. Wait, let me start over.
That's funny.
So how it goes is we're going to say 3 statements, and then the other 2 are supposed to guess which one's the lie, basically. Yeah. So Robin, if you would like to go first.
Okay. Let me see if I can't give this away. I'm also really bad at playing this game because when I do get it right, I just get really giggly. Okay. All right. 2 truths and a lie. So I can't even stop. I'm already laughing already.
It's a lie.
She lied.
Okay. Here we go. 2 truths and a lie. I came out when I was 22. I bottomed last week. And I've been doing drag for 5 years.
I feel like 22 because maybe I feel like you came out like
watch it
21.
Like 21 in 9 months or some shit.
Because I do know, I think you talked about it in our first episode with you that you came out later, but it wasn't too late, but it was like later. Bottom, I know you're verse girl. And what was the third one?
Drag for 5 years.
Drag for 5 years.
What was the third one again?
I've been doing drag for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Caitlin, what do you think?
I feel like the bottoming one might be because watch it. You like have top last week or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is where I think way too much into all this. So I'm like,
I'm like,
I'm
"Are you
honestly
trying-"
really proud of this one.
She didn't bottom.
It was really 3 years.
I'm gonna say coming out was the lie.
I'm gonna say the bottom one, just because. Why not?
Caitlin's right. The bottom one was a lie.
Ah! Did you top?
I did top
Yes,
last week.
I know you so well.
We love a verse queen, girls. We love a verse queen. Oh my god.
Dang, Caitlin, you got me, gal.
Oh, Caitlin, would
Yeah,
you like to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. Okay. So mine is a Staten Island edition.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Because I'm like, what is like? I have a lot of crazy stories, but I'm like, nothing beats coming from Staten Island. Like, it's just a weird, terrible place. Okay, so my first one is I had a lot of like, I won't even call it flip. I had a lot of people come from my high school who ended up being on like TV and stuff. And the most famous one would be Pete Davidson, who went to my high school and is now dating Kim Kardashian, who keeps hanging out in Staten Island with Pete Davidson. My second one is Big Ange from Mob Wives, another reality show, was my neighbor. And the third one is Christina Aguilera, grew up in the same neighborhood as me, but a decade before I moved to Staten Island.
Ooh.
I know Pete's from Long Island.
No, he's not.
Pete Davidson?
He's not from Long Island, girl.
He's
Staten Island.
not? Oh, sorry, excuse me. I always confuse them in my head.
Oh my god. Pete Davidson.
I know they're separate.
He literally was in Staten Island somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I know he's from the one of the islands. Big Ange. I feel like the Christina one could also be true.
I feel like that could be true as well. You're always just in such like quasi close proximity to like famous people.
It's true. That's my entire life.
I
there
haven't.
were so many choices I was gonna do for Two Truths One Lie.
I have an off-air story about Pete Davidson, but I think I've told you before. But we'll continue.
Leak the nudes.
I'm gonna say Big Ange. Wait, define neighbor.
What do you mean define neighbor?
Like next door neighbor, or like 10 houses down neighbor?
2 houses down neighbor.
That was specific, but you also look like you're lying. I'm gonna say Big Ange.
I'm also gonna say Big Ange, just because that seems so a little too random.
Should I reveal?
Yes, please.
It was Pete Davidson.
Oh, dang.
Big Ange was my neighbor, and like she had a pool, and like she illegally dumped all the pool water like in a lake.
Oh my god.
What
and
the
so
hell?
my mom was always so mad at her. Like my mom would never forgive her for that.
Rip to an icon, truly. Does her family still live next door?
I think they moved. I think she actually moved like right before she passed away. Like she was planning on moving, and then like.
Wait, Big Ange died?
Yeah, like years ago.
Oh,
yeah, she got cancer, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Truly to a legend.
Also, oh my god, Big Ange would have these parties and they were the worst. They would like go on for like 12 hours. They must have been filming. I'm assuming they were filming, doing
like work.
It would be like the loudest like house parties. And I just couldn't sleep.
That means Christina lived in your.
Yeah, so she grew up. I think she moved when she was really, really young, but she grew up in Grasmere, which is my neighbor.
That I believe. Yeah.
Then she moved to Texas afterwards, but I wasn't there obviously when she was there because she's like 10 years older than me.
Okay.
Damn.
Also, I found out because I looked up this because I was like, where did Pete Davidson go to high school? He went to 3 different high schools.
Oh my god!
But not mine. He actually went to a high school that's really close to my house, though. That was funny. And he's still there.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
I don't have feeling in my feet.
Okay.
I've hooked up in drag, or / been picked up in drag.
Okay.
And I was fairly fluent in Latin in college.
That one I totally believe. That sounds like something you would be.
I believe that too. You just don't really seem like the hooking up and drag type.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a thing that you would do. But then again, I feel like you would have complained about your foot problem.
Or maybe not, because there's no feeling in it. So what would you complain about?
That you miss the feeling.
I'm gonna say the lie is that you hooked up and drag.
I
or
feel
got
like
picked up and drag.
I feel like that's something you would never do. But
Right?
But watch it have happened one time. Just like once. And then
Just
it
like
makes
a little
it true.
passing.
Yeah, and then it makes it
tug
true.
and go.
See, I think way too much about these. I'm gonna go with the first one.
The feet.
Yeah.
And Robin, you were the drag.
Hooking up.
Yes, the second one.
It was the Latin.
Oh really? Wow, that was a good one. I would have never guessed. That seems like something you totally would have been.
I almost flunked out of Latin.
Wow.
In, undergrad. Latin's very hard, y'all. If you know Greek, it's pretty similar, but Latin's very hard.
Latin's really. That's why it's like a dead language, because no one wants to learn.
Yeah.
I've had sex and drag a few times, like not full drag. It's usually like half drag. But I have been picked up once by like he already knew me, but like. Yeah, like fucked in a wig.
Wait, so you can't feel in your feet?
Nope.
Your whole life?
Well, why aren't you wearing more taller heels then, bitch?
I know,
yeah,
right?
True.
They got run over when I was a kid.
Ooh, I just cringed.
Oh my god, that's like one of my top worst fears.
I have it's the top of my feet that have limited feeling. And then it's like my most sensitive one is like my big toe. And
that's so awful.
And heels make it worse.
So that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was our fun little game, y'all.
We've never played this game on the podcast, so this is a fun intro.
But also good for you getting your walls open with a wig on, bitch.
Oh, I was topping, girl.
Oh. you said fucked in a wig.
I use it interchangeably.
Word.
Also, who's just topping during a session? Let's be real.
Let's talk
about it. Yeah,
Caitlin's a power top.
I'm definitely.
Caitlin's definitely a power top. I'm sure Pat loves that.
Power top energy.
Oh my god. Okay. I
Yeah.
feel we should do our little usual wrap up questions.
Yes.
And, this one's mine, and it's a little spicy this time.
Oh, Lord.
Miss Robin, can you give us a crazy life story that you've had since moving to New York?
Oh,
Give
not
us something
again.
Juicy.
Oh no. Gosh, is it tacky if I say that there's so many?
I know
No,
there
'cause
is, because I get to
yeah.
hear about them.
I mean, like, I could just write an anthology, like open a library about Fire Island stories. But like, if you've heard one Fire Island story, you've heard them all pretty much.
That's true, I feel like.
My favorite,
man.
you don't have to tell the audience, but my favorite instance that occurred from you was, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, when at 6:30 in the morning, when I assumed you just came back from the club, we just got a text that said, girl, or I think it said y'all.
Y'all.
So
Oh my god.
like 8 hours later, but
oh my god, I think I have to tell that story.
Yeah, I still don't know what happened. Did you explain?
No.
Oh, I think you made like a voice memo.
I sent a voice memo,
but I had
because
work,
was
so I couldn't
tired.
listen to it.
so excited.
Oh no. Okay. Ugh. So this happened fairly recently. And names will be redacted and locations will be changed to keep the privacy and security of people safe. So fairly recently, I went to a drag show to cheer on a sister, because it was like the first show that they had back in a while. So we go to the drag show. Great drag show. I have like one drink because I had just started this new job. So I was like, I'm not going to stay out late. I'm going to be good and like wake up early to go to work, etc. And then I was also getting my booster the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Cut to after the drag show, my friend goes, let's go to this other bar. And so we go to another bar around the corner, and we go up to one of the floors. Oh, I'm giving myself away. We go up and we just keep like running into people that we know. We were only supposed to go for one. So we just keep like bumping into people, and we just keep talking and like networking. We just keep getting, I'm out of drag and my friend is in drag, but people just keep buying us drinks, and it's just getting more and more progressive. Like throughout the night, it's 11 o'clock, it's midnight, it's 1 a.m. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, okay, I guess this is just happening. Like I'll get 2 hours of sleep and chug a Celsius in the morning. So we just keep drinking, keep making bad decisions. So the night goes on. I end up running into this person that I used to see, that I used to really like, and we kind of had like a weird like falling out, and they were with their new partner, and I was really shocked because the way that we had ended things, they had like sounded like that they want a relationship, whatever, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So then that happened, and then I spiraled and ended up just raging the rest of the night, making bad decisions. I ended up also confessing my love and attraction to this other person who was also there, and we just had like a nice like little talk, and still working on ourselves, whatever. Sappiness over. Basically, I get like not double rejected, but like I just start feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be alone forever, blah blah blah. But I mean, like, I'm still young and it's New York, so I got over it eventually. But that did not help the decisions that I made that night. So keep drinking, keep making bad decisions. We get to towards the end of the night, and the bar is closing. So I'm like, I have to go home. And my friend is completely trashed at this point. And they end up going to the bathroom, and I'm like, are you going to throw up? Do you need me to hold your hair? They're like, no, I'll be fine. They're gone for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, oh God, they like fell or they got picked up by a stranger. No, this bitch got in a car and she left. So it's like, but here's the thing is like, I wanted to go home too. And they were also so much more fucked up than I was. So I was like, oh, I feel so bad. Like, do you need help are you going to get home? Okay. They're like, yeah, I'll be fine. Like, be safe, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So I'm like getting ready to go. And they're like, oh, the people that I had like made friends with, they were like, oh, we're going to this after party. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I guess here we go. And at this point, it's about 4 a.m. So we go to this after party. Where it was, couldn't tell you. And get there, cute little place. People, are like dancing, drinking. People start getting naked. It doesn't turn into an orgy, but there's like stuff like going on, and I'm out of drag, and I also contribute to the sexual things that were going on. Party keeps going on. One of the guys, I guess like one of the people of the house, like comes in and was like, everybody shut up and listen. If you're gonna have sex, do it in here. We just had to kick 2 people out that were fucking on the stairwell, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, oh, yeah, okay, we'll definitely stay in here. And so I'm so gone at this point, and I look at my phone, and it's 6 o'clock, and I have to be at work in an hour. Fully not realized. I can like sort of see the sun starting to come up.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I'm like, I can't sleep at this point. I'm like, I have to go to work literally in the clothes that I wore to work yesterday that I went, that I wore out, that I've been wearing out. So I was like, I have to go to work all the way in Harlem. And I was in Hell's Kitchen.
Okay, you
was
weren't
like,
that far.
Yeah. So
Well, it was a hell of a train ride, I'll tell you that. Because, so get to work. I'm still completely just zooted out of my mind. I play it off really well though. And luckily I was leaving that day to go get my booster. So I was like, if I just wear my fake glasses and pull my hat down really low, nobody will look me in my eyes or look at my face, because I'm sure I looked like the ghost of Christmas past. It was so bad. So then left work, got my booster, hooked up with somebody through Sniffies on the way home.
girl.
How did you have time for all this?
got home at like, maybe my booster appointment was at 2 and I didn't end up getting seen until 4. Got the shot, hooked up.
Again?
No, I hooked up. I got on Sniffies, hooked up through there after my booster.
Okay.
Got home at like 6:30, and luckily I was off the next day and I slept for like 22 hours.
You're a native New Yorker.
I'm like, this is kind of a normal
God.
night, to be honest.
Yeah.
But truly, I mean, like, there's honestly and like working so much, like there's nothing that doesn't happen that I'm just like, whoa, that was crazy. But I will say that was my most recent one. And if anybody from my job is listening to this podcast, you didn't hear anything. I still showed up to work the next day on time.
Only slightly buzzed.
Only slightly.
Oh my God.
Zooted, honey. Zooted.
Damn, you have some wild.
I feel like I
stories.
always hear some crazy stories from you.
I feel
Yeah.
like I get in some gay world is weird, y'all.
It is weird.
God,
I judge everyone, just letting you know. I
Like-
shame everyone and I judge everyone.
Yeah.
Flashbacks of that after party just keep like coming back. I'm like, wow, I really did that. Oh, I really did that. Oh my God, not my.
Where's the body?
Not my proudest moment. But I literally was like, I remember now, I was like, oh, I have to go. And they're like, oh, like, okay, get home safe. I'm like, no, I'm going to work. And the people that I told that to, they were like, oh no. They're like, well, good luck, girl. Like, have fun. We wish you the best. Do you need a Red Bull? Do you need a bump? And I'm like, no. Like, leave me alone. Mess.
I feel like that's happened to everyone though.
You're a native New Yorker.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know that's not your first story, but like, welcome to New York, bitch. Fuck.
See,
That's like a very typical New York night.
Yeah. Yeah.
my roommates have been in New York for quite a long time, and like nights and weekends where I like come home or I have gigs back to back, and they're like, how was it? Like, how's the show? And I'm like, it's good. I gotta go and I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And they're like, welcome to New York, girl. Like,
Yeah.
you're living the New York life. You're working. You're hustling. And I'm like, you know what? I am hustling, baby.
Hustling. Ooh.
Which brings us to our next topic. What future projects do you have coming up?
I am co-starring in a regular Saturday show at Bar 9 with Karima Puff and La Erica called Fresh Baked. It's going to be a brunch show, and that's going to be every Saturday for who knows how long, forever. And I have also, this is kind of a little bit of tea. I've been offered this opportunity in Fire Island that I don't know if I'm going to take. I'm still debating. I would have to be gone for pretty much the whole summer and be there full time again. But I don't know if I'm going to take it yet. I'm still weighing pros and cons. And I'm also working with a couple of other nightlife producers on opening a new bar. So follow my page to keep seeing updates on that. And I'll hopefully have a show going on there once that opens, once it's done being built. And what else? Hopefully look for another queer art fest maybe happening in the no, we just did winter. Another queer art fest happening in the spring or February. I have no idea, honestly. But that should be happening maybe again in a few months. Hopefully so. What else?
I feel like you always have a lot.
I know. Well, now once the resurgence like calms down a little bit, hopefully I'll get back to other regular gigs that I was doing. But right now I'm really happy with like the handful of gigs I have for the rest of this month and next month, and this little cushy part-time job that I have now that's keeping my head above water, which I'm really grateful for.
Yay.
So we asked this question last time, but a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Where would you want to take your drag in the future?
Oh my gosh. Well, now that I'm here in New York, honestly, being here, I have accomplished so many of the goals that I had set forth for myself, like performing at certain venues, meeting certain people, and like working with certain queens that like I looked at, like I had even like made like a little list, like looking at that list. I made a list before I came here, and looking at that list recently, I'm like, wow, I've actually like done a lot of the things I'd set out to do. So I'm like, what else do I want to do? So
she manifested.
I did.
You did.
Crazy. Like the people that I've met and like the spaces that I've been in and like places I've gotten to perform. It's been crazy. And I'm so grateful to still be here and to keep pushing forward and keep doing these things. But I think definitely hopefully produce some of like my own shows and my own parties, do more of that. I want to hopefully to work with some designers here as well, get some beautiful works made by them, producing more shows. I say more shows and I've only had the one.
That's
More
okay.
than one.
And honestly, just keep working and keep pushing and hustling and performing. I would love to eventually like walk in a New York Fashion Week sort of tease. I obviously want to keep painting. I don't know if my works are like viable enough to be in a gallery, but that would be a cool thing to do as well. And then
I
also
should connect you with my sister because she has a lot of connections with them.
Yeah. And also be a vendor at one of these art fests, either like the Queer Art Fest or any kind of like the little like Brooklyn flea markets or like the makers markets and things like that, and sell some of my like hand painted goods. I didn't get to talk about this, but I actually got to do a suitcase for Olivia Lux for a show that she was doing. And I did it in like 3 days because it was a really last minute thing. But my friend Brian Clavel, who's a nightlife photographer who's also nominated for a Glam Award, is really good friends with her, and he connected me with her. So I got to paint her a suitcase, which was really fun. So, and doing more stuff like that, like painting stuff for queens too.
Robin, I see all that for you, to be quite honest. I know I'm saying this as a friend, but also just like as an observer. If you could do like all the shit you've done in a year, sky's the limit.
As your quasi manager, I would like you to have like a Hell's Kitchen once a week night. That's my dream for you.
That would be crazy. That is definitely a goal. I know that's
and
also gonna like
I know
take
you
some
could
time.
do it. I know you could do it.
As my quasi manager.
Yeah.
But no, thank you. I'm really still grateful to be here, and obviously like grateful to know y'all. Y'all are my New York City day ones. Y'all are part of the reason why
we were
I'm
the
here,
pre-day ones.
Literally.
Oh my God. What a time it's been. Damn, bitch. Anyways, where can the kids find you online?
Oh, golly. You can find me on Instagram at Robin Rose Quartz, just like the bird and the stone. Don't friend me on Facebook because I'm hardly ever on there.
I blocked you.
Oh, thank God. I was tired of seeing your posts anyway.
Oh,
And then find me at Bar 9 every Saturday for Fresh Baked with me, Karima Puff, and La Erica. And find me at the Metropolitan Museum of Art next Sunday.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
walking around.
Yeah.
My birthday's coming up.
Yeah.
Yay, Capricorn Queen.
Capricorn energy.
Saturn returns. Watch out, bitch.
Oh, God.
Oh, fuck. Well, mine too, babe.
I
So
know.
we're in it together. Woo! It's been a pleasure catching up with you.
Yay.
I know. I miss y'all. I can't wait to see y'all for Met and
Probably-
Martinis,
I guess.
honestly.
I guess on that Sunday,
Yeah.
probably when we'll see each other.
But in the meantime, I was Martyr,
I see Tepper.
and this was Wigging. First of the year, babes.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Happy New Queer.
I'm C Tepper. You can follow me on Instagram at CTEPPER and read my book, The State of Drag, where I interviewed 175 drag queens from around the world. All proceeds go to charity on Amazon.com.
Ooh, I love that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Drag the Martyr. And if you have any thoughts, comments, dick pics, send them to dragthemartyr@gmail.com.
Listen, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Pandora.
And catch up with past episodes on WERRRK.com. That's WERRRK.com. Artwork for Wigging Out was provided by Glitter Baby Online. That's Glitter Baby Online. Thank you.